What's up? What's going on, Mad Maniacs, and welcome back to Mad About Disney. Today we're doing a bit of an interesting video. I don't know if this is something someone's done before, so I'm gonna do it. I think this is a new idea. It kind of just came to me randomly one day. Today we are gonna be designing flags for each of the Walt Disney World theme parks. We will be doing this in Adobe Photoshop. I'm going to design one flag for each park and then one flag for the whole resort as a whole. If you guys like this, I'll do this for Disneyland California and other Disney parks around the world, kind of whatever you guys want to see, if this is a unique series that you guys are interested in. The one thing I'm going to do instead of just pasting images in is I'm going to try to make it look like an actual flag of a nation from around the world, not just some random image pasted onto a rectangular frame. I want to make it actually look like it could be a flag of a real country. So without wasting too much more of your time, we're going to jump right into it with the Magic Kingdom. Alright, I'm not sure why I look so weird in this video, so I apologize for that. But for this, I started with a Spain flag. Again, I said I wanted to make it more of a traditional flag. I tried out some pinks and purples, but I decided that that wasn't the best representation of the Magic Kingdom, so I switched it over to a blue and gold. I added in the Magic Kingdom castle vector, and I cropped out the background and all of that. Obviously, this is the biggest representation of the park, so I needed to use that. I tried making it gold, didn't work, so I made it a darker yellow and then added the year that it was established at the bottom. I later realized that was the wrong year. I added a little bit of some shader behind it to give it some depth. I thought that looked good. And then I wanted to fill in some of the space on the right, so I found this star vector online, copied and pasted it a bunch of times, doing some rotations, stuff like that, kind of filling in the space so that it looked a little bit better, and ultimately deciding to fill the space, and then I added this other saying, which I'll explain later. Alright, so that is my final product for the Magic Kingdom flag. You guys saw me do this, but I got the castle in there. Obviously that has to be in there. I have established As I was saying, we have the year on there, 1971, when the Magic Kingdom was founded. Underneath, in Latin, because that's very flag-like, right, we have Harry Cross et Magia. And thanks to Google Translate, I figured out that that meant yesterday, tomorrow, and fantasy, which is what it says on the entrance plaque going to the Magic Kingdom. I wanted to keep this relatively simplistic. I based it off of the flag of Spain, added some stars just to fill in the space a little bit more, but overall, it's generally still a simplistic flag. Up next, Epcot. Alright, so wanting to design a flag for Epcot was something that inspired this video. I definitely wanted to use the old Epcot Center logo, which you can see me put in there in a nice baby blue. And then I used the old Epcot Center stripes to kind of complement the old vibe I was going for here. As you can see here, I struggled a little bit with the lines, making sure they were all aligned. I'm sure there's better ways at doing all of this, but I'm not that great at Photoshop, so let's just skip to the end product. Alright, so Epcot's always had a very clean, modern sort of look. I wanted to represent that fully here. I stuck with a white background, very simple, and then a very subtle light blue for the Epcot logo in the center. I struggled a little bit dealing with the lines. I'm no Photoshop master at all per se, but I got the colors I wanted, the original Epcot colors they used for the same sort of stripes, and originally they went down like a V, but instead I wanted to have a straight line go completely through. Next up is Hollywood Studios. Alright, so this design took me like a half hour alone to do. I struggled to come up with ideas. I ultimately decided to go with Los Angeles flag as my base to kind of represent the Hollywood. Played around with some colors here. I don't really know the significance. The gold was kind of to represent Hollywood, I guess, a little bit. I decided to keep the idea that the LA flag had and put a crest in the center. I was going to make mine a little bit bigger though, in order to, have that be the main focus point of this. You can see my stellar Photoshop skills here. Using an H to divide it up, I originally tried to use a cross, but I found out that the H worked better. After I had my H done, I threw in a hypnotist sort of swirl to represent the Twilight Zone, and then added in some lines there. I used the letter L to, I'll explain the significance of them later. I ended up editing this entire thing later to a different font and making them close together. Then I went back and I added in MGM at the top because that's what the park will always be called to me. I mean, I still call it Hollywood Studios, but I wanted to give a reference to that. And then I added in the logo for Batuu, which is the planet for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Evened out the lines on the bottom a little bit, as you can see there. And then at this point, I kind of just played around with the details of, you know, this crest here. I made the lines closer together, and you'll see the significance of them later. And then the next part that I did was actually kind of my favorite little reference I made here. I cut out the shape there for the 3 spires, and then turned them blue. Stole a star from the Magic Kingdom flag, and then turned this into a reference to the Sorcerer's Hat from the original MGM Studios. Okay, so this one took me quite a long time. If I'm being totally honest, I didn't really know what I was going to do with this. As you guys saw, I took the flag of Los Angeles, so right off the bat we're representing Hollywood a little bit. The colors, don't really know where I was going with that too much, and I wanted to just keep what the flag of LA was doing and put a crest in the center. I put MGM because that's what I grew up calling the park, yeah, I just thought it looked cooler than Hollywood Studios because I like symmetry, so MGM, it's symmetrical. In the top 2 boxes, we have a spinny thing to represent the Tower of Terror, and some red lines as a subtle reference to the roller coaster track of Slinky Dog Dash, and you could also say red for Rock and Roller Coaster too. In the bottom, I put the Batuu logo, which I think a lot of people are not going to like because it's a relatively new addition to the park, and I agree, but I think it's an awesome logo, and I wanted to use it for the bottom. And then I turned the spires into a reference to the old Sorcerer Mickey hat, which used to be there. Overall, not too happy with this flag. Not a lot, that I particularly like. I do like this concept here of having the Sorcerer's hat there. If any of you guys want to submit your own flags of anything like this, if you send them in to me on my Discord server, which is linked below, or any other way you can reach me, and if I do another flag video, I'll give you guys a shout out. I'll pop it in there, and because I want to see what you guys could do. I do like what I did with Epcot and Magic Kingdom. I like what I did there. Obviously, if I had more time to play with it, I might, but overall, I generally like what I've done with the first 2. This one, I like the concept I was going for, but I couldn't quite put it out there. But now we're going to do Animal Kingdom. Alright, for Animal Kingdom, I knew I wanted to use either an African or Asian flag. I went for it with the South African flag because I think it's got a really cool design there. I copied in the Pandora Conservation Initiative logo to represent that part of the park there, because that is just an awesome symbol, and I threw that in the left triangle. Changed the colors on the right part to, provide some greenery to more represent the animal aspect of the park. And then I added in the Tree of Life vector. All these logos I'm just getting off of Google. I played around with the tree some more and then added in the animal line that you can find on a lot of the other park imagery. And then I just turned that white and blended it in a little bit more with the bottom of the flag there. Alright, so for this one, I took the flag of South Africa, and I generally kept the shape of it. I added the Pandora Conservation Initiative logo from Pandora World of Avatar on the left as kind of a symbol of that part of Animal Kingdom, the fantasy section. And then everything else is green because everything else is a more realistic representation, actual animals and stuff instead of the Pandora stuff. So I thought it made sense to give Pandora its own, little section there, and I like that logo that Disney made for that. On the right, pretty simple. Kept it in some varying shades of green. The green that I have for the Tree of Life and the Y part is the original green from the actual flag of South Africa. I thought I would keep that as a little nod to my source material. The Tree of Life that I have here is, to obviously represent the main icon of the park, and then we have the animal strip down below that is also used on a lot of Animal Kingdom signage and such. Alright, now I know I said that I would do a WDW flag today, but this has taken a lot longer than expected. So, if you guys want and you like this video, I will do another video where I do the WDW flag. I'm hoping you guys like this because this sort of stuff is fun for me. So let's go through and let's look at each flag one more time. Alright, so we have the Magic Kingdom flag, the Epcot flag, the Hollywood Studios flag, and the Animal Kingdom flag. I'm probably going to put a poll up in one of the corners. You guys let me know which flag you like the best, and also let me know down in the comments if you like this idea series and want me to continue doing it. Thank you all so much for watching. I know this has probably been a long video. I hope you enjoyed it though, and I hope that you guys will want to see me do some more of these. And with that, I am tired, it is late, and I will see all of you Mad Maniacs in the next video.